Hello everybody, this is Maniac4Bricks. I'm here today with another Bionicle review. These are the Nui-Rama. These are both two figures included in the same set from 2001. It's roughly from the same time that the original Toa were released, actually side by side with them as a sort of enemy. These originally retailed for about $15, and according to a price adjustment calculator, that comes out to about $20 in today's money. So that's actually not that bad if you were to get it, if it came out today, it wouldn't be that much more money. And even if you find it used online today, I've checked and it's actually not that much more expensive. It can range from about $20 to $30 online. That's really not a bad price considering the pieces you get. Now, story-wise, I'll jump into that in just a little bit, but I just wanted to mention if you wanted to know more information about the set as far as piece count and the set number and all that, you can check the description below. The Nui-Rama are, well, best described, they're a species of kind of bug-like creatures that naturally inhabit the island of Mata Nui. They are some of the first creatures that the Toa face, but there's one problem with them. They are controlled by Makuta by the infected masks that they wear. For this set, they all have the same exact mask, which is in a translucent blue and kind of has them giving a big, wide, bug-eyed look, which actually looks good as a toy, but let's just say they're not supposed to look like that for the story purposes. So they are some of the early creatures that attack the Toa. In fact, the first comic that was released for Bionicle and shows, I believe, the green one facing off against Toa Kopaka. When he arrives on the island, he starts being followed by this creature and gets rescued by some other villagers. Now that we've taken care of the story, let's get on with the actual set. I'm going to show all the appearance of the set with this lime green version, and the functions I could probably show with the orange one. And they actually do have a slight difference between them, but it's not too big. And also keep in mind that I have this set used, so there are a few slight changes which I will note in the video. One of the changes is that on the lime green version, these wings on top are not exactly the same. They're actually supposed to be a shorter type, the one that's shown back here, instead of the longer type, which is up front. As far as the build goes, it is a very unique build compared to other creatures in Bionicle. This actually does take a lot of inspiration, especially in this gearbox in the middle. It's made up of a lot of different pieces, but the inspiration comes from the Robo-Riders and Slicers and Throwbots that existed before Bionicle started. You also have this nice tooth-like appearance on the front, and you could either see them as really teeth or some kind of three-pronged hook. Again, I mentioned the bug-eyed look for the blue. I think fits very well with both of these creatures because they have very vibrant colors, and these are nice and darker in a trans blue color. And they fit pretty simply. It's actually not too hard of a build, and it's pretty good for the price range as far as complexity and function. This actually has a interesting look on the back, which we'll get more into in the play feature. So now we'll take a look at the play features. There's mainly just one with this creature, or these creatures, but I did want to point out that it's kind of a play feature that these arms can move on a ball joint. This is some of the earlier type of arms and claws that are used, and for its time, they're actually in good colors. They also give some nice posability to the model, so you can have the arms out as, another way of attacking the Toa, but the problem is, they don't hold up very well if you want to have them on the display. So you'll best want to keep the arms down as you see over here, just to have them facing upward. Now the back, as I mentioned, was a very interesting construction. Most of it really is, but definitely in the back because it's very open and lacking. This is supposed to be a part where you can hold it by hand, and this part serves as a trigger. You push the trigger forward, and it will push a small mechanism in here, and then in turn it will move along this gear rack and will move these wings or antennae, not really sure which, but it'll move them forward. it actually pulls them back because of some rubber bands, or elastic bands I should say, on the top and on the bottom. Now, I got these figures used, and unfortunately they did not come with the original black rubber bands, so they have a little bit of difference in elasticity. So these are relatively good. I'd still say it has enough of a quick motion that you can keep snapping it constantly, and we'll actually get more into that in the play feature in a sec. But I've actually noticed on this one with the same type of rubber bands, it is a little bit slower. And sometimes it takes a little bit more effort for it to pull back, and occasionally they will slowly retract even after a quick, abrupt push forward. So between these two figures, as with all the Rahi, you can play against them in the single set. This one is simply, as all of them are, to take out the masks on each of the creatures. This one has 2 masks on each creature, so it takes a little bit more time to actually take out both of them. And if you have someone you're playing with, then it actually makes it more interesting because you can move these around each other, try to evade, but also get into the right spot. Now, with the claws by themselves, you could rip them out very easily, because the masks are made in a way that have a nice hook on the back of them to, grab at them. But you could also do it in another way by using the actual play feature right on top of them. See, that's what I mean by sometimes it just slowly retracts. I'm not really sure why, but it does have a bit of a lean there. So there we are. That's one way, and well, both ways, you can take these out. You can also use this play feature with the Toa figures and the Turaga figures that were released at the time, because all of these figures have the same exact head and way of attaching the masks onto them, so you could easily bring them in and have a more formidable fight between the, controlled Rahi and the hero Toa. So let me see if I can stand him back up and really get at these masks. He's putting up a good defense right here, and he's having a little more easy time falling down than with actually getting the mask off. It may vary depending on what masks are used as far as how well you can hit them, but I'd say this is still enough force on either end that you can, knock the masks off of them. Again, I mentioned that the rubber bands are a little bit of a factor in how quickly they can retract in order to slap them back on. But it does work. I'd also like to point out, since I just noticed it now, this piping is starting to come out a little bit. That's another little flaw about this design, and not really because this one's further out, but just the construction or the molding of these. It occasionally will let the wings fall off. So if it was snapped too many times, it would actually pop off, regardless of the size of it. The Nui-Rama are pretty unique creatures in my opinion. They were some of the first Bionicle figures that I had after obtaining the Toa and the Turaga, and perhaps I think maybe the only Rahi that I first had when they originally came out. They are pretty cool in the way that they're designed. I do like the bug-like appearance of them. Even the back, you could say, kind of has a bug-like stinger, but doesn't actually sting. It's a good play feature and actually good use of some of the earlier parts before Bionicle started in order to give them a unique play value. I also do like how each of them have, pretty, outstanding colors. They're not the typical colors you would see with the Toa, except that they were more of the secondary colors of the Toa. So, as a primary color, it's actually pretty cool. And, there are a few flaws with it. I still think that these are nice figures to pick up. Even if you're not a Bionicle fan, I think you'll have a fun time with these, competing against other friends to take off the masks as best as you can. So thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see the combo model that these are two fused to make, I can record that and put it into another video, but only by your request. And if you want to see more Bionicle reviews, you can check out more on my channel. There is a playlist of them, and there are plenty more coming soon. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time with more LEGO videos, and let me know what you guys think about these sets in the comments below. We'll see you next time.